As reported by Screen Crush, is Blockbuster planning a revival as a nightclub? The first Blockbuster, turns out, is nearly 40 years old. It opened in Dallas, Texas in October of 1985, so this is its 40th anniversary this year. At the time, it opened with an inventory of a mere 8,000 VHS and 2,000 Betamax videotapes. Look at that, in '85, they still were stocking Beta. I love
Yeah.
that.
Yeah, that's a timestamp for you right there. The fact that they had Betamax at all.
Yes.
Mhm. Our first unit was a Beta, and my dad already in the early '80s, because he got all the audio video magazines and all that stuff,
Yeah,
pre-internet. This is the best quality.
it is. He was right.
Oh yeah. But what won out? What defeated Betamax ultimately, John? You probably know.
Pornography.
Yeah, porn. It
Yeah.
always, yeah.
Really?
It came down to the duration you could put on a Betamax, and because you only put like 45 minutes or 60 minutes or something on a Betamax at that quality because of the
Right.
density and the speed and everything. And
Okay.
most of your quality porn is like 75, 80 minutes long, and you're not going to ship it on 2 Betamax. And so it's
Right.
cheaper to put on the less expensive VHS, right, Kat? And so
Yes.
therefore people were buying VHS players to watch Wow Chicka Wow Wow. And
Wow,
now that they had it, they would rent other movies in that format, and that led to its eventual victory over Betamax. Yeah.
I
Suddenly,
did
Kat's not
know
pulling
why.
anything out of her supply
Yeah.
of things.
You
of
pull a
nostalgia.
Betamax or a porn tape or
I-
something in reach.
Yeah.
If I went downstairs, I could get a VHS tape, but it probably has Chitty Chitty Bang Bang or the Monkeys on it.
Thinking about that, how you've explained the difference between Beta and VHS, that means in the early 1980s, we were seeing low-res porn. When there was a higher quality that we could have watched.
Listen,
That's
we
where
watched
your
it.
mind goes?
360 by 240 was fine for me when I was downloading for BBSs, so really the quality
There
wasn't
you
the
go.
issue.
Right. Right. And we talked about that dot matrix thing you
Yeah.
printed out before. So initially, David and Sandy Cook used the proceeds from the sale of a prior business that David had to open a Video Works franchise. But when the parent company wouldn't allow them to decorate the interior of their franchise with blue and yellow colors, they said, screw you, Video Works. We're starting our own thing, and we're calling it Blockbuster.
Yeah, we're big Cub Scout fans.
Is that blue and yellow?
Yes. Yes.
Okay, I
Those
don't
are, yes.
I think about Best Buy now when I hear blue and yellow or see blue and yellow.
Mhm.
I don't know. But just 2 years after that, in 1987, they already had 19 locations throughout the area. And at that time, a baron of waste management, a gentleman named Wayne Huizinga,
Oh,
Huizinga, I'll say,
hey.
purchased a controlling interest in the burgeoning chain, and the Cooks left shortly thereafter. And following the business model of McDonald's founder Ray Kroc, Huizinga.
You're making up all these names.
I feel like isn't that what is that what that superhero says when he turns from a little kid into a superhero? Huizinga! No, it's something else.
You're thinking of Shazam.
Oh, yes, right, Shazam. Right. Wait, isn't that what you have? Never mind.
I am so lost.
Following the business model of McDonald's founder Ray Kroc. Okay. Huizinga built the company into a multi-billion-dollar industry by the end of the 1990s. I found this little side note that's interesting and a precursor to what we're about to talk about right now. In the 1990s, Blockbuster actually attempted to expand its offerings. At that time, they operated an indoor theme park called Block Party, where, according to Park Rover's website, guests could enjoy a, quote, city street theme with high-tech attractions designed for 18 to 45-year-olds, end quote. But instead, according to Review Time, the destination became a, quote, hotspot for rowdy 20-somethings, end quote, and flopped.
And it is then to those 20-somethings they're marketing this new Blockbuster nightclub.
Yeah, you're right. That are now 40-somethings.
Right. Now they can't get so rowdy. Okay, finally we're ready for you.
Yeah, that's a good point. Yeah.
Come on back.
Of course, more recently, in spite of its efforts, Blockbuster couldn't keep up with the age of digital streaming services and filed for bankruptcy in 2010.
Yep.
Now, famously, of course, as you guys know, there is still one Blockbuster opened. That's in Bend, Oregon.
Yes.
Is it still there? Still,
Yes.
still?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Wow.
It's still there.
I keep
And it's-
hearing rumors of it's on the ragged edge of any day now, but I'm glad it's still around.
Yeah, to my knowledge and my latest research, it's still open. But the store, which is opened by Ken and Debbie Tischer, it doesn't rent videos anymore. It seems like 80% of their revenue comes from selling merchandise.
Okay. Yeah.
It turns out the DVD vendors that previously supplied them with movies have gone out of business or have minimums now that this, mom and pop shop can't afford to purchase.
That's also the gold and silver pawn shop in Las Vegas's business model. Like, if you visit the Pawn Stars store in Vegas,
Is that right?
half of it is now Pawn Stars memorabilia, merchandise, T-shirts, and stickers, and the other half is a pawn shop now. Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah. And they have a separate register for if you're checking out of the Pawn Stars store, and then one up front for the gold and silver pawn shop. But yeah.
Wow.
Kind of
that's so
the
interesting.
tail wagging the dog scenario, just like with that Blockbuster. Yeah.
Oh, very cool. Oh, Marcus and Kyle both point out that Wayne Huizenga owned some professional sports teams.
Hmm.
Yeah, I don't know what those are. I'm not a sports guy, but anyway, today, here's the news today. I tell you all that to tell you this, because according to an Instagram post from a user named Black Millionaires, the owner of the Blockbuster trademark has filed an application to use the brand in a new non-video rental. Okay. Jesus Christ. Control.
You did it to yourself.
Yeah. The publicly viewable trademark application, which was originally filed in November of 2023, lists. So I guess just for a moment here, for folks who don't know. So you own a trademark. Whenever you apply to have a trademark, rather, I guess when you apply to get a trademark, you have to specify what your business is, what your, quote, goods and or services are.
Okay.
I don't remember when I filed for my trademark for the podcast, for example. There was nothing great for it. I think it was like, digital entertainment on computerized platforms for listening in cars and radio. It's such crazy ass shit. But anyway, so at Blockbuster, this new one, because they already have trademarks for the stuff they used to do, one's for renting videos, one's for selling merch. I saw one where that they had filed so they could make eyeshadow and stuff like that. So
blue and
but
yellow,
this
one for
latest-
each eye.
And then you blink and I don't know, it looks more 3D or something.
Green,
It looks green, yes. Or if you turn your head.
really fast.
Flick, 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 flick.
Anyway, the one that was filed in November of 2023 and only being, sort of reported on now is for, quote, nightclubs, amusement centers, entertainment services in the nature of an amusement center attraction, end quote, as well as, quote, bar and restaurant services, snack bar services, end quote.
Okay.
Yeah, and as I mentioned, although it was filed in November of 2023, a recent application from, I believe it was in October, in connection with the application, the attorneys had filed for an extension for the deadline that they, by which they'd have to provide certain documents. So even though it's a couple years old or a year old at this point, it seems like they're asking for more time to file documents to get this approved.
Okay.
Maybe that's why folks noticed it, even though it was originally filed a while ago. I don't know.
Huh.
So whatever made it percolate to the top. But
Yes.
Now, this is what I find more interesting. Because that's, all right, I guess, are you guys going to a Blockbuster restaurant / nightclub / bar / skating rink?
Only if I can find my
Whatever it
original
is.
Blockbuster card and go and say, can this get me things free? If
I love
don't
how you
have
say
this-
that
they'll
as
go,
if you don't know exactly where it is.
well, Kat, you actually owe some late fees. Thank you for bringing your card.
Oh, my God.
They have accrued with interest.
Yeah.
Therefore,
Yeah, did you guys get dinged in 2010? I did. They sent shit to me asking for money for rentals for movies either I had never rented or I had returned 10 years earlier.
in 2010, you got dinged?
Yes.
Really?
They did this to a lot of people. So as part of their liquidation or whatever, their bankruptcy,
Yeah.
I think they sold the asset of money that was owed to them by people
Uh-huh.
to another company.
So they tried
And
to
this was
claim.
it was a collection agent.
Mhm.
And I don't remember all the details, but it was shady. They basically took the name of people whoever rented at Blockbuster and were just saying, oh, well, where's that copy of Pet Detective you never brought back? You owe us now $1,500.
Yeah.
Oh my God.
How about
It
if
turned
I
out
just
to be a
ship
lot
you a
of-
fresh copy of Heather's and we call it even?
But it turned out to be in part shady, I recall. Anyway, we wrote back and said, or called and said, this is made up.
Mhm.
I think there was a class action lawsuit against these people too. I don't know. Maybe I made that all up or had it in a street. But this is another. So this is what I did. I dug through the trademark application to see, well, what else is Blockbuster up to?
What'd
They
you
also
find?
filed for some other things that aren't being reported. And this is true. I didn't make these up, John, so settle down.
Okay. All right.
They also said one of
Easy.
their goods or services is, quote, for downloadable software for enabling users to receive, accept, view, purchase, sell, and exchange non-fungible tokens,
Oh.
unquote.
Mm-hmm.
So Blockbusters looks like it's trying to do that. Also, for, quote, providing a website featuring financial information in the field of cryptocurrency.
Wow. Okay.
And while those are,
NFTs and
yeah.
cryptocurrency.
You know,
Okay.
Atari went down that path as they were trying to figure out what they're going to do with their new company.
oh,
You might recall they haven't totally given up on it. They have steered away from NFTs and stuff and crypto, blockchain stuff. And there's talk of Atari hotels coming. So it's not so far from this Blockbuster thing. It's almost like, the Blockbuster trademark holder said, well, work for Atari. They're nostalgic. Let's give it a shot and try all these things. That, by the way, Atari has kind of put on the back burner now and focused on their retro aesthetic.
Yep.
But interesting.
yeah, I would love to see a study that shows what portion of our generation is into NFTs that buys into that shit. I feel like that's younger people mostly. Yeah. I don't think old people are even falling for it. They're buying gold and, stocking up their basements for the apocalypse. But younger people seem to think it's a new kind of currency. that young people get involved in.
Well done. I'd already forgotten. Well done, Kat.
That's the only thing Kat's going to like she's got to win.
I was going to say, I'm having trouble following. You're saying
Stop,
because
Kat, stop.
But I missed one apparently because Marcus
Okay,
and
good.
Karen are they're
Kat's like, I'm listening to the words, but not the sentences.
Yeah.
I'm sorting.
Yeah, I don't know. I just feel like whatever. I mean, they're doing whatever they can. I guess in a sense, creating NFTs obviously is a low cost of entry for them. I suppose, unless they're creating their own Bitcoin, then that's a whole other disaster. Anyway, whatever.
Huh.
But here's something more interesting though. And again, so along with that application I mentioned for the restaurant and the nightclub and all that, these were filed a little short time ago, but they've been asking for extensions for the deadline, including this one that they also just recently asked for more time. They want to also, quote, another good and service they've applied to offer is, quote, streaming of audio, visual, and multimedia content in the nature of audio and video material via the internet, end quote.
Mm-hmm.
So I don't know. What is it? 10 years too
They're a
late?
little
20 years
late
too
in the
late?
game. A little late. Let's jump on that bandwagon.
What was the nail in our coffin? Oh, yeah, Netflix. We can do that too now.
Yeah, we only gave them a 20-year, 15-year. Well, they've been around for 20 years.
Right.
But the digital for what, 10, 15 years?
They were observing to try to perfect it themselves.
That's what it was.
Right. Now we've learned all the things.
So-
It's really,
We've
Adam
learned not to
Sandler
live
is the
stream.
key. Got it.
yes.
And we've learned not to live stream a famous boxer and, whatever.
Right. But they can't get Adam Sandler because he's already tied it, so they get Rob Schneider, someone like that. That's the Blockbuster equivalent.
Yep.
Is Rob Schneider the Blockbuster to Netflix's Adam Sandler?
I
That's a
don't-
pretty
I
good
don't
analysis.
think
That's not bad. That's a
I don't
comparison.
know.
It's okay.
I don't know.
That's good.
I don't get the Adam Sandler Netflix thing.
Oh, it's a multi-picture
con-
deal.
yeah.
He does all kinds of films with them. Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Many
I
films.
think-
Yeah.
I didn't really.
I think it's a
realize that.
7-picture deal or something. It was some really, it's one of the first of its kind for Netflix, I think.
Wow.
Yeah.
Okay.
And they're so movies, but they do huge numbers because it's a new Adam Sandler movie. For the same reason you might go to for the same reason you might go to
All right, I'm going to call it right
Blockbuster.
now. Let's stop with the secret word, all right?
There's no way it's going to stop. You know it's not going to
Okay,
stop.
no, it's fine. I'm just kidding. We can keep doing it.